Jai Hind to all. Myself Pradeep Kumar Tripathi, Assistant Professor in IT Department. Today we have discussed about the Python programming. Last lecture we have discussed about the OOPS concept in the Python programming, and we have discussed about the inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and other property of the OOPS concept. Now we have discussed about the polymorphism, that is done by the method overloading and method overriding. In the method overloading, how it is said that the overloading, when we use a function more than one time in the class, that is called overloading. Function name will be the same and the signature will be the different. What is it mean by the signature? Signature means that we have passed the argument to the function, that is called the signature. So it is called method overloading. In the method overloading, we have used the same name of function and pass the value same parameter in that particular function. That is called method overloading. And in the other side, that is the concept of method overriding. What is overriding? When we use a method and function name, we will same name use in the function, and we will use the same signature also. That means we have passed the parameter, same parameter in that particular function. Suppose we have used in the child class and a parent class using the same name of the function, and we have also used the same parameter in that particular function, that is called overriding. In this is called overriding. Whereas the method overriding, method or function name must have the same name and the same signature. There are the two concepts in the polymorphism concept. One is overloading, another is overriding. Second point, in the method overloading, inheritance may or may not be required. In the method overloading, we can say that we can use the concept of parent and child class, but it is not compulsory to use the parent and child class in the method overloading case. But in the method overriding, it must be used in the inheritance, because if we do not use the parent and child class, we cannot segregate that particular class in the overriding method. In the method overloading is performed between the two methods within the class, whereas the method overriding is done between the parent class and child class, as we discussed about in the previous points. In method overloading, it is used in order to add more to behavior of the method in the method overriding, whereas it is used in order to change the behavior of existing methods. In the overloading, there is no need of more than one class, but in the overriding, it is compulsory need of at least two classes. One is parent, one is child class. So it is the example of method overloading like this. One is class, we have created the class, and this is the side of the class 5, and this is the calculate area. This is the method that we have used in the particular class of the square, and another class that is triangle, and base and height, these are the parameter, these are the attributes of that particular class, and we have used the same name of the function, that is calculate area. This is the class that we have used in square class and triangle class also, and we can make the object of square class, that is SQ is square. We can define that particular class in SQ, and TRI, that is the object of triangle class, we have created over here, and after the creation of the object, we can print the area of square and area of triangle, that is SQ dot calculate area, SQ dot calculate area. This is the example of method overloading. Here we can use two classes, one is square, one is triangle. In the square classes, we can create the attribute side that is equal to 5, and we can use the method name calculate area, and after that we have created one more class that is triangle class, and we have used the attribute base and height. In base and height we have given the parameters and we have calculated the area of triangle. So in overloading method, the function name will be the same but parameter will be different. That is called overloading. Here calculate area of the square, here is the calculate area of the triangle. Here is the only one parameter is passing, and here we can pass the two parameters of the base and height that is passed into the this particular method. So function name will be same but signature will be the different. Here we can pass the only side, here we can pass the base and height. So it is called method overloading, right? Now we will discuss the operator overloading. What is operator overloading? When we use an operator like plus, minus, multiply, divide for the different purposes. Suppose we can add the two number by using the plus operator. We can add the two string by using the plus operator. When we can product of the two number by using the multiplication operator. So this is called operator overloading, where we can use the plus operator for adding the two numbers. Here we can plus operator, we can use the adding the two strings. So it is called operator overloading because one operator and doing the two works, two different works. One is two number adding and two strings are adding by using the operator. Operator name is same, operator is same, but parameter is different. So it is called operator overloading. Previously we have discussed about the function overloading, either method overloading, when we can use the one name function and parameter will be the different. Here in operator overloading, the operator will be the same and the parameter will be the different. This is called operator overloading. Now we will discuss about the concept of method overriding. Overloading means one function, different signature we can use in the overloading concept. But in the overriding concept, we can use the one method by using the same parameter, or either we can say the same signature of that particular method. Where we can see the example, of method overriding. We can create the one class A, and after that we can creating the class A, define the function 1 and passing the parameter of self, right? And again print statement, feature 1 of class A, define the function 2 that is self, again define the one function, and this is a print statement. We can inherit the class B from class A, class B inherit from class A, and we can also define the function like this, function 1, and parameter will be the same, that is self, and print the method this. After that we can create the one more function that is defined function and passing the self, and passing the self and print statement is this, object equal to B and object dot fun1. This is called method overriding. Where it is done by the method overriding? Here in the class A we can create the function name function 1, right? And in the class B that is inherited from the class A and created the function defined function 1. This is the overriding because function name will be the same, parameter will be the same. So when the parameter and the function name will be the same, that is used in parent or child class or more than one class. So it is called overriding concept of method. So it is called method overriding, right? Now we will discuss about next concept, that is encapsulation. We have already discussed about the OOPS concept like this. We have already discussed in the previous class, what is object, and what is inheritance, what is polymorphism. Now we will discuss about encapsulation. Later on, we will discuss data abstraction points also. So in the class, we have already discussed about the class, we have already discussed object and inheritance also, and polymorphism we have right now discussed. So now we have discussed about the encapsulation. What is encapsulation? When we discuss about the encapsulation, the concept is data hiding. What is data hiding? In the data hiding is used to hide the data from the user. It is includes the internal object details such as data members, internal working. It is maintained the data integrity and restricted access to the class member. The main working of the data hiding is to combine the data and function into the single unit to hide the data within the class. We can directly access to the data from outside the class. This process is known as data encapsulation. This process is known as data encapsulation. It is done by hiding the working information to the user. In the process, we can declare the class member as a private so that no other class can access these data member. It is accessed by only within the class. In simple terms, we can say that what is data hiding? Data hiding is the mainly hide the data that we cannot show to the common user of that particular module. So it is concept known as data encapsulation. Data encapsulation, or either it is called data hiding, isolate the client from a part of program implementation. Essential members or mainly developers must hide from the user program or module, only reflected how we could use them, but user cannot familiar with how the application works. It is provided by the security purpose. We can use the data hiding concept for the security purpose because the common user did not access all the modules of that particular software. So it is a concept when we hide some data from the unauthorized user or like some common user. Suppose we have an example of data hiding. So we have created the class counter class 1, right? And a private count is 0 and define the one method that is count and passing the parameter to the self, and self dot private count plus equal to 1, and print self dot private count, and counter is equal to counter class counter dot count and print that particular private count. Here is the output of this particular statement. One print statement is this and another print statement is this, and the output of that particular statement is 1 and 2. How it is from 1? Because private count is initially 0. When we use this particular function definition.count, it is created private count is 1. So it is 1. When we created the object of that particular counter class, and again we can use the counter dot private count that is passed on this particular method, so it is gives the output of 2. So counter class object has no attribute of private count. It is the concept of data hiding, when we hide the data from some common user or unauthorized user of that particular software, right? So it is all about the OOPS concept, class, object, inheritance, encapsulation and polymorphism. We have already discussed and we have already completed the OOPS concept. Now some file handling concept are there, and we will discuss in this particular class is file handling concept. So what is file operations? Why it is used? Why it is important in the Python or any other language? File operation is a basically main uh, important part of any web application or any desktop application, because everything is in the file. Because we have, when we have created the data, we have created the files, we have saved the data in the format of file. Suppose Excel file, document file, or either comma separated files. We have created lots of the files and we can store in the data in the format of files. So file operation is important for the any other language. In the Python is also, this is the important operation of file handling. The file handling is a very important application of web application. So Python has the several functions that we have used in the file operations. There are so many file operations are there. Now we will discuss of the one by one, how is the how many of the file operations, how it is work on the file. So first operation we will discuss about the file open. The key function of working files Python is open function. What do you mean by open function? When we use the open function, we can directly open the file from the program. We can use in the program open function, and that open function open the file of that particular program. Suppose we can use the open function takes the two arguments, one is file name and another is mode. There are four different types of modes that opening a file. What is mode? Open is a function, but in the open function we have passed the two type of argument in the particular open function. One is file name, another is mode. What is mode? These are the text file modes that we have used in the different types of functions. When we use the functions, then we must have passed the file name, comma, mode of that particular function. Suppose we have discussed about the one function that is R. What is resembled by R? That is the opening for the reading the files. The file pointer is placed at the beginning of the file. If the file does not exist, it will show the file not found error. When we use in the open function, we can pass the file name and file mode also. Suppose we have passed the one file name and passed the mode of R. What do you mean by R? That resemble the file pointer of the beginning of the file. If file does not exist, then it will show the error of file not found error. If file is found, then open and read. That means file is open for the reading purpose only. If we can open any file in this particular mode, we can only read that particular file. We cannot write any things in that particular file. So mode is very important because file name is the same, but mode are the different. When we need to write in the any text into the file, then we will change our mode. If we cannot change our mode, then we cannot write anything on that particular file. So mode are the very important part of the particular file. Like R is the reading mode, and W, what is W? W is the writing mode, open for the writing. If any file exists in particular program, then we can pass on the mode of W. If we can pass the mode of W, then W creates that particular file, and W gives the facility to we can use that file, write any text into the file. It will create that particular file to exist, or it will create if file does not exist, it will create that particular file. So W is the mode that opening for the writing If any data is already present in the file, then it will override the data. If file does not exist, then it will create the file. It is the flexibility of that particular mode, like W. So we have already discussed about two type of mode. One is reading, another is writing mode. In the reading mode, only we can read the particular file. We cannot write anything on that particular file. If we open the file in the writing mode, then opening for the write, if any data is already present in the file, it will override that particular data. If file does not exist, it will create the files. These are the two particular modes, R and W. Now we will move on X. What is X? That is exclusive creation with the write. If we pass file with the mode of X, that means the file will be open for two type of mode. That means exclusive creation with write. What do you mean by exclusive creation with write? That means the specified file must not be available. If the specified file is available, it will show the file exists error. In that particular mode, X open for the exclusive creation with write. That means it will create and write property also. The specified file must not be available, then it will show the file exists error. Right. These are the three modes that we can pass on the file. Now another mode is append. Opening for appending. Append means that the pointer will be point into the last. When we have a file, then the file pointer is placed at the last position of the file. When we enter any data, then particular data will be goes to the end of the file. This particular mode is used for the writing any data or appending any data into the end of the file. Then we will use the mode of A. Right. So it is A, that is opening for the appending. The file pointer is placed at the end of the file and append new data at the end of the file, that I already told. Right. These are the basic modes that we have used in the file operation. We can also use the mode in the form of R plus, W plus and A plus. What do you mean by R plus? R plus means that is the file opening for the reading and writing facility also. That means files will be reading and writing facility both. In the previous, we can pass the one mode at a time. We can pass the R, either W, either X, either A. But when we use for the reading and writing purpose, what will be the mode? That mode will be the R plus. That facility will be not available in previous modes like R, W. It will give the only reading, it will give the only writing, it will give the creation and writing, and it will give the appending purpose. But it will not show the both operation. So for the both operation, we can use the reading and writing purpose. We can pass on the R plus operation in the file mode. After the reading and writing mode, we will open for the W plus, that is opening for the writing and the reading purpose. It will override the existing data. That will pass on the W plus mode. When we use A plus mode, that is the open for appending and then reading, it would not override the existing data. So these are the basic files. These are the basic file modes that we will use in particular file modes in particular function. What is the syntax of that particular function? We will discuss the basic syntax. After that, we will close the session and then we will discuss in next lectures. So we will discuss about the syntax. For the open a file for reading it, it is enough to specify the name of the file like this: f is equal to open demo file.txt. Make sure the file exists or else you will get an error. For open the file, use built-in open function. The open function return the file object and then the reading content. Suppose we have file f is equal to open and demo file text comma r. R will be the mode. R, what is the R mode? That is the opening for the reading purpose. This is the one simple example of that particular mode and file name. This is the open function. This is the open function. We will pass on the only the demo file. This will create only the open the file, and this will open the file and for the reading purpose. We will specify the by the mode of that particular R. So it is all about the file modes and file operations. In next lecture, we will discuss about the other files operation that we will use in file handling process of the Python program. Right.